I'm telling you.
You're like the newscaster who walks in and sits down. And
I'm big time. I expect everything to be prepared. I show up and I just do my thing. There was fucking Starbucks. None of them in Cincinnati were open this morning.
And Cincinnati's a hellhole.
So I'm like, you all get fuck around with Skyline chili, but you can't have any.
That's what happens when you go to Ohio.
Nothing good. What's up, Spring Sports Cards 504?
Hey everyone.
Tony Harley, what's going on? Mr. Alec, how are you, sir? We'll give it a couple of minutes for what's going on. What's up? Hope you all are having a good night.
Yep.
So anyway, this is the first time I flexed. The lady from the office went into, I don't know where she went. She disappeared for like an hour and a half and came back with my nitro.
That's nice.
What's going on? What's good with you?
Just waiting for our awesome guests to get here.
Yeah, I think we'll give it like maybe 9:03 and then we'll hope y'all are having a good night.
Yeah, at least this is something that we can speak on.
Yeah,
this is true. We're pretty well versed in this topic for this evening.
Hope everybody's sipping on something good.
Jerry brought me home a coffee because he's awesome. And I drink coffee all night long.
So a little recap for anybody who wasn't involved. Last week we spoke all things Kobe Bryant. And agreed. We spoke things all Kobe Bryant. And conversation was a little, like, I don't want to say long-winded. Not a lot of direction, but it was, you get a couple of people who are passionate about cards. It got off the tracks. So tonight we're going to be talking about all things sales.
I don't know why my mom is snapping. Sorry.
Courtney's like legitimately Snapchatting mid live.
I was trying to like make them go away because Jeremy's in the middle of talking. He's got like ADD really bad, so when they pop down, he's like, he keeps looking at it.
I didn't know there was just like all of a sudden there's dick pics coming in the screen. I was a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, so my mom is sending me dick snaps apparently.
Like she's like, hey, this is a nice hammer. Check it out.
Yeah, you should look at this dick, Court. It's just a relationship me and my mom have.
You're like, hey, mom, that's already mine.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Real talk.
Okay.
Real talk. All right, you want to do an intro?
Yeah, we can get started. We'll talk a little bit about what this is. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Discord. I wasn't because I'm old. Jeremy got onto Discord way before me. I know, like, initially a lot of people who like video gamed were on it, right? That was like...
don't ask me for history.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
In my understanding, that is what it was. It was for like gamers. And now other people have created servers within Discord where they talk about anything that they want. It's like WhatsApp meets Reddit, sort of, in my opinion. That's what it reminds me of. So Jeremy got onto one for sports card investors. And I'm going to preface this with saying that we are not shilling for sports card investors. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you hate them. I know that he's like very polarizing. I have no opinion about sports card investor. I love this Discord though. Like, and I don't think he is even really involved in it.
I don't know. I would just chalk up our hobby experience to being like college kids where we try everything.
Yes.
Courtney, like I'm over having just like all kinds of promiscuous sex. Courtney's trying all the drugs and liquor, all that kind of stuff. So our hobby experiences, we're trying everything.
Yes, and then we switch.
Correct. Yeah, so the thing was, Jeff Wilson, or Geoff, or however you want to... Hello, sports card investors! That guy, people love or hate him, but we utilize the platform because, you know what, if somebody says this dude sucks, we're going to find out for ourselves.
And the platform, have to say, it's a really well-run platform.
Everything. It really is. And it's they're very tight-knit. And as you cultivate, like, you know, we always talk about in the real world, you know, cultivating dynamic relationships. We've done that there, and it's led to some pretty awesome pickups, but it's also provided us an alternative to eBay, Instagram stories, Twitter sales, to move cards.
Right.
And
so while we wait for Cav, maybe we can talk a little bit about what, besides the fire sale, you can do in the Discord and kind of how we got started. Because we didn't start out doing fire sales in there.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you go and I'll just chime in.
You just get long-winded, so I'm trying to just...
Yeah. So anyway, it's broken down by You can sell specific by sport. You can promote yourself. There's a Raz room, there's break rooms, and they're tightly knit. There's very specific rules to what you can and can't do within the platform, and they hold people to it. So it's a great spot if you're looking to buy, sell, promote yourself, buy into breaks. And of the hundreds of items we've ever sold, we only ever had one person not pay. And it was like maybe 30, 40 bucks. They were immediately banned. And the moderator, whoever was running the room, was quick to apologize and want to make sure that we were okay. And to us, it wasn't a big deal because, quite frankly, on eBay, what?
I'm reading the comments. This is not professional. We're supposed to be telling people things in 504 persons, and they're making me laugh my ass off.
Yeah, no, you lost my whole train of thought. So.
Sorry. He's such a smart ass all the time. And usually he's talking about my tothos, but this time he said business casual. Jeremy's gonna school us.
Yeah, man, you like that? Didn't have time to scrub it up a little bit.
No,
This is real life, Jeremy. Started the morning in Ohio and ended in Michigan.
Yeah, via Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're just going to dive in. I'm wondering if maybe Cav's having some technical difficulties. I haven't seen him pop on, and I don't want to hold everyone up. We'll just get started, because the questions that were asked and the people wanted to know, I have answers to, and I can actually answer them. So the first thing I'm going to do is, the first question I got is, what is a fire sale? And here's Cav, he's here.
What's up, Cav? Willie Beeman? All right, go ahead and view the request.
All right, we're going to bring him in. You ready?
Yep. That's okay. That's okay, 504. That's just the old ADD. Willie Beeman!
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, so we just gave a quick intro as to what the SCI Discord is and a little bit of our opinion. Basically, our opinion is we understand that some people, there's some negative connotation that comes with Sports Card Investor or Jeff Wilson. And we were just saying that to us, we don't take anybody's word for anything. We like to try things ourselves. And for us, the platform overwhelmingly has been a positive experience. We spoke to how well run it is, thanks to people like you, and just, our ability to either buy cards at a great deal, sell cards at a great deal, and also just interact and cultivate relationships with people within the community. And so that's kind of where we were. Courtney cut me off 7 times and was being pretty rude, but we got this train back on the track. So we're going to get started. So I appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us to, chat all things about the platform.
Yeah, of course. And I guess that on that. I mean, everybody's got an opinion. And to be clear, I'm not a paid employee of SCI. I volunteer on the Discord server, and I happen to find the Discord server is pretty separate. It's not like you're getting SCI stuff forced down your throat all the time. It's just basically a community, sort of independent from even the whole platform. Of course, a lot of the members who use their software are on there, and but beyond that, again, it's essentially a chat Discord where you can run a sale, buy, sell, trade, talk, learn, and again, I'd say it's sort of independent, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, the sheer volume of users, I have yet to find another platform that has anything even close to that.
Yeah, and they actually do have paid admin on it too, right? There's other Discords you can join that don't have people who have true responsibility to manage and maintain. And I know there's some questions you guys let me know are going to be coming around. Hey, what happens if there's a scam or this or the other thing? And there is staff in place to handle those things, and not every Discord has that. So it's definitely a really nice perk that comes with the baggage, if you will. Again, I don't look at it that way, of maybe being tied to a brand that, again, for whatever reason, sometimes can get people a little riled up. But I figure anywhere you go in the hobby, there's a lot of those corners that you can get back into, and I just try to interact with people who I enjoy interacting with. You guys being a really good case in point of that, and follow the lead there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could touch on anything in the hobby and have people who are and it's cool because it just, all that says to me is that people are really passionate about it, and the more people are passionate about it, the better it is for all of us. Granted, sometimes they're too passionate, but that's neither here nor there. And I just
you're always gonna have those extremes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like in every aspect of life. So you just get used to it. So why don't you talk a minute about what you collect and what got you
Sure.
into the hobby, and give us a little background on yourself.
Yeah. So like so many other people, I got back into things last summer. As a kid, I certainly spent a fair amount of time in my card shop. Trying to sell back cards, and him being like, I'm not giving you what Beckett says you're going to get for that card because you're a kid on a bike, where are you going to go, right? There was no eBay back then.
Right.
So had that fun experience, and, collected with my grandfather. My dad still collects cards too. So I've had that sort of in my background for a while, but didn't really get back into it until last summer. Actually had a good friend of mine who for a year plus was telling me, hey, I'm making money doing this. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And then got actually like a look a little bit behind the curtain of what he was doing. I was like, oh, wow, you weren't kidding. And then as soon as I got back into it too, I was like, oh yeah, I like sports cards. I play fantasy sports. I enjoy a little bit of gambling. I like a lot of the aspects. I studied economics and like all this stuff sort of came together. I was like, oh, I like sports and sports cards too. So like, why was I fighting this? And it turns out, oh, you can also make a little money if you'd like to. So that's a nice perk. So yeah, I got back into it last summer. I'm big in baseball primarily. That's my sport of choice, but definitely a lot of basketball too. I've had Celtics season tickets for like 13 years, so I'm a big basketball junkie too.
Bulls.
I know that was a brutal game the other night.
That was beautiful.
Start, but
I knew you were gonna say something.
I knew that was going to come up, but we won't spend too much time there. I'll keep selling you Bulls cards. That works out for me.
There you go. Everybody wins.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I collect, I PC guys like Paul Pierce and Tatum and Devers and Bogarts, and some of the big guns too. So Acuna, Tatis, and then thankfully I mentioned my grandfather too. He's bestowed upon me some relics of cards, and so I'm starting to build up some vintage collection too. 33 Gaudy. He actually just gave me 100 cards from that set recently, and so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a long-term goal to build out a vintage set of 33 Gaudy, which will be really cool. So yeah, a mix of I'm in my 30s, so I'm a 90s kid, so I like modern, ultra modern, but then really throw it all the way back to some vintage stuff that I got my hands on too, luckily enough.
So how did you get linked up working in the Discord?
Yeah.
Being a moderator.
So I mentioned the friend that got me back into it, so he's an admin on the board, and then really I just got active in the Firesales channel, and I was sort of doing a little vigilante policing, I guess you would, trying to keep the masses in order as a sale was going on, and participating in sales, and I was present for a lot of them night in, night out, and so they essentially just asked hey, would you like a little bit more responsibility, manage the schedule, have the ability to, I don't have too much authority on there, but have the ability to clean up messages that come in that are maybe disrupting the sale, things of that nature. And I was like, yeah, I'm here most nights anyway. I enjoy the community. I enjoy the Fire Sale channel in particular. I think it's a really awesome aspect of it. And so they said, hey, if you want, to take over scheduling things and handle that aspect, you're more than welcome to. And so yeah, I keep that.
So I don't want to assume anybody on here knows any of this. We want to keep it real entry level and provide an opportunity for everybody to learn. So what exactly is a fire sale, and how would you describe it for the people that are in there? And you're fucking right. Yeah. It looks good.
I'm getting so distracted because Cage is in there making fun of your coffee and calling it a caramel macchiato.
Not all of us can drink 4 liters of Coke.
You guys are drinking Starbucks at what, 8 o'clock at night?
9.
9 o'clock.
9, okay.
All day, every day we drink coffee.
Number 3 of the day.
Dude, I got 4 kids.
Wow. Yeah, I've got 1. 4 sounds like a lot.
This is a lot.
You asked me what fire sale is. Yeah, so for folks who aren't familiar, the concept is really to sell a high volume of cards in one go. And the idea isn't to, get comps for everything. That's not really what you're going to have happen in a fire sale either. The idea is to come in with some cards as a seller that you're looking to move, that you're willing to sell maybe a little bit below what you see in, Sell the Peak or 180 Point, and move volume that you'd be happy to move so that you can reinvest that in something else that you'd like to spend money on, whether it be more cards or whatever, floats your boat. So the idea is to, schedule a time and a date. We'll talk a little more about how you might do that, promote it a little bit, and then move product, move stuff that you've got sitting around that, you're going to move lots of raw cards at cheap volume, or maybe you sell some slabs that you've got, even high volume ones or high value ones. But the idea is to move a lot of cards in one go in a sale, and be ready to, again, not get ripped off. It's not what you're looking to do either, but sell a little below comps, and really take satisfaction in the fact that you're going to move a lot of stuff all at once and not have to wait for those offers to trickle in and the back and forth and that you do on eBay, and really just get a lot of stuff moved really quickly.
Yeah, we've used it like something similar to like Star Stock, where we sent like a bunch of rookies of cards that were just going to sit and not do anything. It's a great way to like churn inventory and turn cards over, because we watched a lot, and so we got an idea of who liked what, and so we're able to kind of tailor the sale to that. But it's, like you said, it's a great way to move a lot of cards. You knock out a few hours, and then you have a few $100s or a couple thousand in your pocket, depending on how well you do. And money to spend.
I find that we move our cards where we have a lot of margin in, like a lot of room, where you're not gonna if you come down on like what the current market value is, you're not gonna feel that bad because you have enough margin in it, and it's gonna go like this, and you're not gonna have to be like the one card on eBay that ends up being like, I had a kid I was selling at the show this week. I had a card at like $175, which was about 20% below comps on eBay. And he's like, not to be picky, but I just sold this card on eBay for $85 last week. And I was like, oh my God, did I misprice this? And I went and looked. Nope. He had the one card on eBay that went for $85. I felt bad for him. But like when you pick the cards for the fire sale, I always assume that they're gonna, you're not gonna get your max value, $1 for them. We have a couple of times where I'm like, damn, I can't believe that card went for that much. But
yeah, I think you guys bought a card off me. I was like pleasantly surprised. Like there was a Hertz, and like, I mean, some of the cards you sell, if they're high enough demand and there's people in the room, like you could actually do quite well, especially when you consider that like you're avoiding a lot of fees and things like that on eBay. Like you can do quite well on some, but yeah, if that's your expectation on every card, you're probably going to walk away feeling like you didn't get what you were looking for. And I think, again, that mindset's really important to feel like it's a good experience.
I mean, you're big deal. You're Willie Beeman, a.k.a. crossoverkav, so I didn't mind overpaying just to cultivate the relationship that way. Hey, down the road, you want to jump live with us.
Yeah. Hey, that car, I really like that car.
Hey, and be honest, hold on, time out. That was a complete, I was going to get that card at a steal, and some dick bid me up, and then I let my ego take over. And then it was like, well, I'm overpaying for this thing.
That happens in fire sales, though, right? Sometimes you start stuff. Heck, somebody ran a fire sale the other day, and they started Topps Kobe rookie PSA 10 at $1. I don't know if you were there for the sale the other night, and it went all the way up to 17, 20 something, right? And like somebody almost had it at something way cheap, but like that can happen in those sales too, right? Where like people just start getting in a bidding war, and you can actually sort of like facilitate that, and that's the nice thing about those sales too, is that you do get that back and forth action.
You like to do that to us, because I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden I'll get a ding that you're crossover tag, because they're selling something in there that
And anything like Patrick Williams or Kobe White, and then I feel obligated I have to buy it. So they took the time out and I'm like, well, I'm buying this hunk of shit.
So that's good. People are smart. They know, like, if you are having a fire sale, that's a cool thing. Well, we're getting
it's a really fun. I know we are. You're bringing up a fun thing about the community too. Is that like I know through association like what different people collect on that server, and I'll see things come up in a sale, and I'll at mention them, and because I know they're a Mets fan or a Bulls fan, or they PC somebody, and like it's a really cool aspect of the server, just like being around folks. Like I know what they PC just from being in those bidding wars or seeing it go down, and yeah, I mean, there was a while there where I was buying a ton of like Bowman prospect baseball. I was getting pinged all the time, and I was coming in, and I was cleaning up parallels and numbered cards that I really liked, that I had a lot of fun with, and that's a really cool aspect of it.
I agree. So I guess we kind of went over what our tips are for choosing cards. So then, what are the rules, the specific rules for the fire sale? Like once you're in the Discord, which you have to, ask to be invited to the Discord or have someone invite you in. That's how we got in, or be able to search it up and know what you're looking for. Once you're in the Discord and you're a member and you want to have a fire sale, how do you do that?
Yeah, so there's a dedicated channel in the Discord, and essentially there's some rules pinned in the Discord that lay out what the requirements are. And the primary one is that you need to be level 10 on the server. So there's like an automated bot that, application installed that measures your level on the server. And essentially all that means is that you aren't somebody who just signed up earlier today. This is a mechanism for us to avoid people who are going to try to come in, run a sale, and scam, right? So you have been around, you've been interacting, you participated in sales. It is not some high watermark that takes months to get to. If you come and you participate in chat, you participate in sales, that level 10, I don't have an exact number attached to it, but it does not take an exorbitant amount of time to reach. But I think for everybody's benefit, it isn't something you can just get with a snap of a finger either. And so if you are going to run a sale, you've been around the block, so to speak. You've been participating, and then you become eligible. If you are that level 10, we consider it a fire sale if you have 25 or more lots to go to. If you're just coming to sell 5 things, that's kind of what the buy sell trade channels are for, right? Post your 5 items, and but 25 items really constitutes all right, we've got something going on tonight. We're going to have this mixture of cards, slabs, whatever you got, and we're going to be here for 2 to 3 hours. And somebody ran a 24-hour fire sale a month ago. But usually it's 9 to 12 Eastern, something like that. And that's what's going on. So 25 plus lots to run through. I usually ask, people ping me to schedule is one of the other part, right? I should mention, that's how, my sort of responsibility on the server is that people will ping me and say, hey, I'm looking to schedule a sale. I'll verify they're level 10, verify they got those 25 lots to go through. And then I try to get some general sense that they're organized. Hey, what's the mix you're looking to sell, right? Baseball, basketball, slabs, wax, raw cards, just to make sure it's not going to be a total shit show
Right.
when they try to run the sale, right? That I think is another big benefit of the Discord and that channel is that we try to vet it a little bit at least so that things aren't a complete mess. People have some organization. It's going to be a sale that lasts a good couple of hours if you showed up for it. And it's going to be somebody who has been around the server and isn't brand new to things.
Well, I think maybe a year ago when you would schedule a fire sale, there was just a cornucopia of open dates. Yeah. And now when you get on, you're out every night, 4 to 5 to 6 weeks out to get a date.
When we first started, it was only weekends, and now it's there's fire sales.
Speaks what you're saying before, the popularity. The number of users on the server is a huge perk. Obviously, if you're going to run a sale, you want lots of people there and lots of eyes on it. The volume of people. And then I think, again, not to go too far patting myself on the back, but I spend a lot of time organizing the channel, and I do think that has helped to make people feel like there's more attention on it. There is more action there to be had, and so people are excited to run those sales and are booking them. I think there's one open date left in November. And I will say, I know I volunteer my time. One of the perks I get is that somebody cancels, I might know when that date is, and I can slide in a sale myself. That's really the perk I get, frankly. But the dates fill up quick, which again I think is just a sign of people wouldn't be running sales if they weren't getting a return from doing them. And I think it's just an indicator that people keep coming back to run sales because there's a lot of people who attend them, and they get that return that they're looking for.
Well, I think one thing too, which is a testament to what you guys are doing, is we have sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lots or cards or whatever, and we have only ever had one person not pay. And that was something small, maybe $30, $40. And so people know when you get on there, it's serious business. So if you're going to commit to buying something, you're going to buy it.
That's probably one of the platforms that I don't worry about, people not paying. I very rarely have an issue even with that. So I want everyone in the feed to know that I'm reading your questions and I am going to ask them at the end. I wanted to get kind of through the basics of it, and then we will jump into questions from people that are on multiple sales.
Yeah, I'll say again, anytime you're dealing with internet sales, right? You're gonna have the bad apples come up, but I don't deal with some of those things. I think there was a question around that. What happens there. I don't have the sort of authority to deal with that myself, but usually that stuff gets escalated up to an admin on the server, and if it's found to be somebody's a non-payer, like they're out. Like they're banned from the server. That's the end of it.
Yep.
Same goes, of course, on the seller side. So like again, there's an endless supply of bad apples that are trying to do that sort of thing. But ultimately, most sales go off without a hitch, and occasionally you hear about somebody here or there. But you cover yourself, you pay with goods and services, which is what we always recommend in the sale. And if there truly is a discrepancy there and someone behaves out of line, like we're off the server, and that's sort of like our way of handling that.
Now, I would say too, we keep talking about selling from a buying perspective. If you're able to kind of sift through or get an idea of what somebody's selling on any potential night, there is a tremendous opportunity to pick up cards, whether it's for PC
sure.
or for it's a flip arbitrage opportunity where you can pick them up because maybe the people that night don't have the big bankroll.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've sort of experienced it or done it all. It's from both angles, right? Because for a while there, I was just there every night looking for, there was an era where I was just buying rookie cards so I could send them to Starstock and I could make money. I was buying anything that Starstock took, I was buying it. It doesn't matter to me, right? Then Starstock, changed their policies, and then I moved on to, and then I'm looking for slab flips, right? Okay, I can get this thing at, enough margin that I can flip it on eBay based on, like I was doing that game. Like you could do it all, or just buying PC cards, to your point. Again, then there's a while I was buying Bowman lots and like building lots by team and by player. And you can do so much. There's so much material that comes through those sales. I do think it's a really awesome opportunity to build PCs because people will come in, they'll have lots that start at $1, and it's just a ton of X team, X player, and you can pick up stuff real cheap. That's just fun too. Like you can walk away. For anybody who likes cards, like when you get a mail day from a fire sale and like you spend, whatever, 10, 15, 20, $30, and you get like a stack of cards, like that's fun. And it's stuff that you wanted as opposed to, I mean, again, most of us enjoy ripping wax too, but like, you get a smorgasbord and, maybe you have fun with a couple of them, but more or less, most of them just go off to the side and maybe they get sold in the fire sale someday. Like you don't really care for them, but like, you buy a whole player lot of some guy that you PC, for me, maybe it's like, Xander Bogaerts cards that are non-rookie, whatever it is, like people aren't collecting a ton of him. Like I enjoy that. And that's fun to get that sort of stack.
I know Spring Sports Cards mentioned that there's a lot of similar names on there on a daily, nightly basis, and it's like community. And so sometimes, we'll pop in and just to shoot the breeze, maybe with no intention of buying a card, unless something really, captures our attention. And that's true. I mean, community is the big thing. Cards sometimes become secondary, but it's cool people to hang out with, and again, just truly well run.
It is. So I think we're gonna round out the questions because you did such a great job of like going kind of over everything from start to finish.
Wouldn't expect anything less from a man.
No.
Shine.
So awesome. So my last question, like main question that I had is like, what is the biggest mistake that people make when they're having a fire sale?
They underestimate the amount of work that goes into it.
I think
that's
for
sure.
Number one biggest mistake.
That's for sure.
Or they don't do the work required.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, you sort of hit on that in terms of the work that goes into it. Like prep you got to prep for it. Whether that's lining up and numbering your lots and sort of knowing what order you're going to go in and where you want to start the prices at, and checking comps on things that you don't plan on starting at like a dollar auction, because once the comp police come out in a fire sale like that's a snowball that's hard to stop. So you want to make sure you're checking comps, and again, like the purpose of these sales is not for you to sell a bunch of stuff at the going rate. First of all, recognize that like you're not paying eBay fees here, so like I always, when I go into a sale, like that's a minimum starting point for me. It's like I'm gonna go look at the comps, I'm gonna slash eBay fees right off that and be like, we both win if I sell this today in high volume, a bunch of cards at a comp minus the eBay fee that I would never have gotten in my pocket anyway. You win, I win, and I move a bunch of stuff. So that's like a bare minimum for me. So I think, again, like checking comps, verifying that, again, you're really looking to sell, not just only sell at like, the market price. Because that's, again, people are going to catch that really quick. People are not buying things above market value in these sales. Like they know how to look at sell the peak in 130.2. Yep. So do that prep, look those things up, Take your pictures ahead of time. Like, just be organized. I sort of mentioned that before. Like, I do a sort of bare minimum check of like, do you have a sense of what you want to sell and how much? Okay, good. I think people who are successful and get through these things in an organized fashion, prep ahead of time, check their comps. Yeah, those are the biggest things that I really notice from successful runs or failed runs, if you want to look at the other way, is just people who don't prepare and people who, like I said, are looking to get top dollar for every item they're selling. The point is that in the end, you sell so many total items that you're happy with the sheer volume that you moved out of your collection. Not that you got like every last dime that you could have, because everybody knows you could put that listing at comps on eBay. It could sit there. There's no guarantee that thing's going to sell just because there's a comp for it. And again, eBay's going to take their 10-12% anyway. And most folks in the fire sale too, like they'll most folks will say, hey, I'm going to charge this much for shipping. I'm going to have you guys cover fees. So like you can do really well as a seller, just like slashing all of that off your price, and everybody's happy in the end.
Right. That's what we do. We do goods and services and $5 shipping because we ship everything.
Yeah, we also give away lots of stuff throughout, and then we also record like a big slab giveaway. And somebody's like, how do you give away like a $50-$100 slab? And it's like what you talked about. Like every card that we sold, we avoided the fees. A buyer is going to buy multiple lots because they're only paying the $5 shipping, and at least they reach that threshold where it becomes free. And so at that point, like that $100 or whatever you give away covers itself.
Yeah. So you guys, I think, asked the question of like, what are some mistakes? But I think again, hand in hand, is just like, what are some of the things you can do to make it a better sale? And like you guys mentioned, like I really love the fact that you guys do that raffle giveaway. That's always super fun. Freebies throughout. People love their freebies. Again, I mentioned the guy the other night who sold the Topps Kobe rookie, like Keith Stone, I think he's another task force member. Like he does the craziest freebies in his sales, but he's selling so much, and he's selling stuff in the sale that he's comfortable with the margins he can get because he got it at a good price, or went brought a grade and he's got it at and people go bananas. I mean, like there's so many people in his sales. He sells everything. He gets solid money at all that, and the volume that he moves at one time. I mean, this is unlike anything you'll ever get listing your items. Not to mention the pain it is to list all this stuff individually on eBay, right? You skip that whole process and just like sell tens, if not 20s, if not, huge amount volume of goods that you have. So giveaways and all that stuff, yeah.
Tony and Springs, the way we track it, and we've tried, we've tried many different ways, and so we're evolving, right? So we're fortunate that we're automatically.
We started with a spreadsheet.
We started with a spreadsheet. That was too much, so we laid out the lots and had sticky notes. And so the minute the auction ended, we wrote down who won with the total
and stuck it on that lot. As we have our lots in order. We set it at the kitchen table. We've got I usually am on my phone because I take all the pictures of the lot. So let's backtrack. Let's just kind of go back. Jeremy and I spend like the week before whatever fire sale, because you pick your date, and we pick our lots. We keep our cards consistently comped because we're doing shows and we're selling all the time for the cards that we sell. So I will do a cursory like comp check on stuff that we haven't pulled out in a while. And then we have it all lined up. We count out our lots. We make sure that they're like, the other thing is we make sure that they're things people are going to want to buy. Like the worst thing is getting on a fire sale and it's just like red X, red X, red X, red X, red X. People are trying to sell crap that nobody wants.
Those red X's hurt my feelings.
I know,
I think I only ever got one.
You got one. I was like, okay, never again. But people let you know what they want. So we get everything laid out. I have a sheet that I write the order of the lot, and then like we do like pretty much every like 5 to 6 lots we do a giveaway. So it's like giveaway, lot, giveaway, lot, and then I write as we go who won and how much also. So we have 2 like counter checks just because and that was another question, was the timing. Is it better to go quickly when you're doing the sale or go slow and give people time to comp? The thing is, and this is my opinion, we go fast. And not because we don't have people have time to comp. It's people know when they come into the fire sale what they want to buy, what they're looking for. They're not like, oh, maybe I want this if it's at the right price. They know that the price is right in the fire sale. Like, you're going to.
But also, too, nothing is worse than, I understand if it's a big ticket item or it's some serious bidding going back and forth, but nothing sucks more than sitting there for 10 minutes while a guy is going $1 once, twice, and then a massive pause. So to me, I look at it through the lens of the consumer. What kind of experience would I like to have if buying that? It's not always right. I'm sure some people are like, slow down, and I'm sure we cost ourselves a couple dollars. But for us, we like to keep up the tempo and go through cars that people are going to like.
Yeah, it's important to us. So that was one question, was the timing. So for us personally, our personal opinion, and other people might do it differently, I think it's better to just keep the tempo going, because then people aren't like, man, this is taking forever for one card. I'm going to jump off here because this is not keeping my attention.
Yeah, you have to remember too, like, yeah, some people, depending on how you organize your sale, some people, I mentioned, hey, I'm a baseball collector. Like, a lot of people don't collect baseball. And so if I'm going through the baseball part of the sale, the last thing you want to do is just drone out and have the people who are maybe going to be there for your basketball or football or whatever later on in your sale, like, just dip out because
Right.
you're going too slow. So yeah, I mean, I'll typically give like 30 seconds, maybe 15, 20 seconds. If it's a higher ticket item, anything I really expect a dollar return on, like, check your comps and then we're moving. Like, it's just, you're going after that. And it's funny you guys said the spreadsheet's too much. Like, I'm a spreadsheet nerd, so like I spreadsheet it for sure. And then, but a lot of people will just do like bags on the side too with the sticky note. And as people win, and most people win, like, you throw it all in the same sort of bag or under the same sticky note for that person who's won. But yeah, you want to keep yourself as organized as possible so that you're not trying to like go back through the chat and be like, who won what item, and that's where mistakes get made too, and that's really messy.
Exactly. I definitely agree. So the more organized you are on the front end, the better.
One thing before I forget, this is a little out of order. When you invoice somebody or you send them their total, when they win, ask them to shoot you a DM with what their name is, because like, crossoverkav. But then when I receive the money at PayPal, I'm like, okay, 50 people bought stuff from me tonight.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
Yeah.
That is something we learned with the first fire sale, because we had like 3 people that ended up like with a total of $28. So I had $28 come through 3 times, and then I have to ship their cards to other people. So that is one of the rules that we made in our because you get to make your own rules, like how much can people bid 50 cents or no 50-cent bids. Are you going to charge them for goods and services? Are you going to charge them for shipping? How much are you going to charge them for shipping?
That's too funny.
So one of our rules is you have to, in your payment, send your real name so that I can find you on PayPal.
Yeah, I think I literally have it saved in like a little, doc of like the notes I send after a sale ends. Yep, thanks for participating. But yeah, I've literally got it in like a note on my computer, which like I copy and paste, and it's like, please send your name and address when you send payment too.
What mistakes do you see from people participating in fire sales, whether it's buying or selling, like common ones that we can share with people so they can avoid those pitfalls?
Yeah, I mean the cardinal rule is just like, know what you're bidding on. If you bid, you're bound to that. Similar to imagine if a seller said they're going to sell an item at a certain price and then they didn't. Like, we look at that very similarly if you bid on something and then don't pay that price. The admins in the server are not very forgiving in that regard. So know what you're bidding on. Take the extra second, look it over, click the picture, zoom in on the picture, like, make sure you know. Ask a question if you're not sure, right? Is it a silver? Is it a refractor? I can't tell. Ask, right? So that's the biggest thing. And otherwise, I think understanding too that people who are running sales, it is a lot of work. And if it's not stuff you're not interested in, like, that's okay. There's a sale literally every night. Check out the next one. Like, there's no need to. Again, I mentioned the comp police before. Like, sometimes sellers need to hear that, but at a certain point, like, they clearly aren't looking to hear that and are not about to change everything that they're planning on doing, and just move on to the next sale, go about your day, whatever, check out my channel.
I've ever heard someone say, don't be a dick.
I keep like thinking to myself, I mean, yeah, I'm like, am I cursing on you? I think you cursed first, Jeremy. So anyways,
No, not me. Courtney, she's got a
Courtney. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
But no, I swear all the time. Yeah, it's just not, I not as more anymore because my kids in the repeater phase. I got like 2.5-year-olds, so she repeats what I say now, so I gotta be careful. But I generally like swearing quite a bit. But yeah, no. Anyways, yeah, don't be a dick is really what it comes down to. It's the internet, it's anonymous, but at the same time, like the best part about it is the community, and yeah, people sort of figure out pretty quickly who are folks that they don't want to do business with, and yeah, you just don't want to be one of those people.
Spring Sports Cards wants to know what's the best way to advertise a sale.
Yeah, and Whiskey Will, by the way, definitely recognize that name from the chat. What's up, man? So definitely sold you cards before, actually. So, what best way to advertise? Yeah, so I would say there's sort of a use good judgment policy in that. Like you can promote it as long as it's not in the middle of somebody else's sale. Like people will send teasers all the time in the channel, like, hey, I got this sale coming up. I would say like if it's more than a week away, you can probably hold off. But like yeah, there's a few folks who once a day for the week leading up to the sale will like send a teaser picture in the middle of the day and promote it that way. Day of your sale, I would definitely consider using there's a tag that sort of brings a bunch of folks on the server get notifications when somebody mentions fire sale, like as if it's a user, and you can use that twice the day of your sale. And a lot of folks choose to use that like midday with a preview picture and a description of what the sale is going to be, right? Like, hey, it's going to be low end, everything starts at $1 auction, versus, hey, I've got nothing but slabs, everything's going to be priced. I'll like I said, go to myself like, hey, I've looked at comps yesterday, I've slashed 15% off all of those, and that's where I'm starting bidding on all my slabs tonight. And here's a picture with a lot of them in it. Like, promote it that way day of the sale. And then on the channel, it's in the server itself, there's a promote yourself channel if you want to use that. If you have an Instagram account or any other sort of social media you use, like promote it there. But the main way people do it is in the channel, sort of leading up to the sale, and then day of. The biggest thing is to like let folks know earlier on in the day, because at some point, most of us, work day, school day, whatever it is, they'll check it out. Be like, oh, hey, is that a Jalen Hurts green velocity in the picture there? Like, oh, I might come to that sale tonight and check that out, right? And they can see, hey, like, oh, it's going to be a baseball sale tonight, not what I'm really looking for, or whatever it may be, right? So it can work the other way, so you don't have folks show up and be looking for something that you don't have. So yeah, I'd say, again, that promotion midday is really the biggest thing.
I think participating, even if you don't buy anything, just seeing what the different folks are into, interacting with them, and then, sometimes you could, talking with, like, say, for instance, 504 Person or Spring Sports Cards, and they, network with the people that they frequent with, and then next thing you know, word of mouth, so you have an understanding of, I'm going to sell to this audience, or I'm going to this guy's sale because I know he puts up what I want.
And again, you develop connections too, right? Where like now, again, like we're able to, like, this wouldn't have happened what we're doing right now without that, right? Or me finding a Patrick Williams auto and saying, hey, like, Jeremy, would you be interested in this? And like, happy to do it at this price. Like, let's both be happy with this, sort of like that stuff happens through a channel like that, and through the interactions that we have. So, and I've met a number of people that way. So, yeah, it's really great to, like you said, even observe and see what people are interested in, and it might give you an understanding of what you could, like you said, do better selling in your sale. What does well? I get that question, right? And you guys asked it earlier, but like I get that all the time, like what people are looking for. It's like, well, watch a sale and you'll see really quickly what people are looking for.
Well, you also really get a finger on the pulse of like what's really hot. You get a small sample size, but that audience is very, so like, like we were kind of like on the upswing of when soccer was taking off, because
Sure.
that's all we were seeing. Like, and people were, hey, do you have soccer? Do you have soccer? Do you have soccer? And so if you want to have an idea of what's coming up, the people are there that you can just say, what sport do you guys want to see? And it becomes very apparent real quick.
So
it is, we have a little like lens into like what the market is doing. It is interesting, right? Like, it's not like it's
before it hits, you're just like, oh, this is a weird thing I wasn't expecting to see, and you're like, okay.
Or even like
you've actually done well.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about it a little bit too. Like, there was a week or two. Sorry, my battery just went low. Battery mode. There was like a week or two there where sales were a little bit slower, and we were like, hey, like, what was going on? That wasn't, and it was like, oh, you know what? I think we're sort of in that market slowdown right now. Like every major sport is playing in it's baseball playoffs. Everybody's like watching the first 5 games of the NBA team before they get really disappointed if you're a Celtics fan. And then like
Well,
there's NFL starting up, NHL starting up. Like we were like, oh, and we sort of like had that understanding coming together of like, and the Firesale channel told us that's what was happening. So you can get some interesting insights from it too. Yeah, what's going on with the market.
So I'm gonna say something that goes against the rules, so just don't listen, Will, okay? So people like multiple times, is it only PayPal's goods and services? Is it only PayPal goods and services? SCI Discord says yes. So the official rule is yes, only use goods and services. That being said, we've done a bunch of sales and several people have bought from us multiple times, and they prefer Venmo or they
and we tell them no because the rules are goods and
because the rules
services.
are not. So we never use other forms of payment in the Discord. Never. We never do that. Only goods and services. And I always suggest you only use goods and services with people you've never done business with before, and sometimes people you have, because they will occasionally be a scumbag.
Another question: keep sports together or mix it up?
I prefer to keep them together. That sort of goes back to my like organization tendencies, like going into the sale. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's an argument made for both ways. I prefer to stick with one at a time. And I tend to, like I said, I'm organized enough where I'm comfortable doing that. Be like, hey, there are 10 lots of baseball left. I think that'll take another 30 minutes. Like, if you're interested in basketball, that's up next. Come back then. I think that's where being organized helps, is that I'm able to be very confident and like count off, like, hey, if you're waiting for basketball, that's 10 lots away, right?
I think that's something we want to try because we've always mixed it up. But one thing we've started recently doing is building in breaks, whether it's to walk the dog, go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, do whatever people do. So I think if you were able to, like, you know, from 8 to 8:45, we're doing baseball, 9 to 9:30, and then, you know, people know I'm the basketball guy. I'm going to allocate a half an hour of my time to go 9 to 9:30. That might be something that works.
Yeah, because we've always mixed the sports up, and I guess we just did it because that's, I don't know.
We collect all sports.
We
so
collect all sports, but it does make sense to do it separate. We just
because
haven't.
There's definitely an argument made both ways. I don't think there's any like this is the way, but yeah.
So, and
you
then
might as well, hey, you guys have run enough sales. I would try it a different way and see what you guys think. I don't know. I'd be curious to hear, but yeah.
There was another question. Do you put your better cards at the beginning or mix them through? How do you feel about that?
I staircase. Like I go low to high, at least on a per sport basis. So like I said, I sort of do sport by sport, and I'll typically like staircase to the end of the bigger item. That's my strategy. Again, like there is not necessarily a rhyme or reason. I see, you know, Interacts in the chat, and he's run some big ticket sales as well, and he likes to mix and match it up. Like he's throwing in like comics and stuff too, at like random intervals. So like, yeah, I mean, again, there's no one way to do it. I'd say sort of whatever you most comfortable with. I will advise against throwing like a really big item right off the bat, because you just don't know how many people are going to be present. Like, make sure there's some chat in the Discord. Make sure there's some participation before you start bringing up some of your bigger items if you're hoping to, get a higher dollar value.
Right, I agree with that completely. I don't think we almost never start with like our biggest cards. Oh, someone wanted to know if you would ever have multiple fire sales in a day. So I'm just wondering if they mean like a morning fire sale and a night fire sale. I feel like it would be hard to run them too close because sometimes they run over. So, and that's
so we try to generally avoid it because we don't sort of want to like take away from the person who first claimed that date. Like, most folks have enough time and money and attention to like invest in one sale, not multiple. And if somebody's thought ahead and planned ahead to schedule a sale, we try to make sure that like that sale is going to be the one emphasized that day. So usually when people ping me on that, I'm like, hey, if you want to ask the person who's running the sale that day if it's okay to run after them, if they might end at a reasonable hour, like that's up to them. If they agree, sure, you can run after they finish, but like there's no cutoff for them, right? They don't have to stop at 10 p.m. Like that's not how it goes. Like it's their sale date, and hey, if they end early and somebody you want to run after them and they're okay with that, great. So so be it. But yeah, truly try to make it about like, hey, if you've thought ahead and you plan for a date, and you've got subs coming back from PSA or SGC or wherever that a week earlier, like this is the day you want to run a sale. Like we try to make sure that's the date that you're running, and you get the full attention emphasis.
One thing that we found, if and when you do run a sale, is being prepared, like what we would call like the encore. Some nights people just waste money, and they are just throwing money at you. So to have cards ready to go that you're willing to move, there's been times where we've done damn near 4 figures, whether it's right after our fire sale or directly with people messaging us, hey, do you have this, and this? And you're able to move stuff incredibly quickly and throw it into their lot.
Yeah, for sure.
The one thing that I did not anticipate the first time we did the fire sale, which did get confusing, was they do backdoor deals with each other. Like one guy will win the auction and then another guy will message him like, hey, I want that. So then you have both of them messaging you proof that they paid, or like, oh, I'm giving you permission to take this out of this lot and put it with this person's lot.
That's the ultimate arbitrage play. Like I literally just bought this for $5 in front of you. I'm gonna sell it to you for $10. Good. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, when they start doing that stuff, I tend to say like, hey, you need to like figure that out on your own and tell me like, in my book, you owe me X because you said you were gonna buy this. Like, if you're gonna work it out some other way, like that's on you to figure it out and come to me with like a resolution. And okay, I can try to accommodate, but again, there is a lot that goes into organizing this sort of thing and making sure that like people get their cards in a timely fashion, packaged appropriately. Like, there's a lot that goes into that, and you don't need to be dealing with that stuff. And that's sort of like, hey, like in my books, you owe me this for this card. If you want to figure out something else, like go for it. Sure.
Oh yeah. Sure. There's been times we finish the sale and we package everything that night because I don't want it sitting out. I don't want any issue with it like falling off the table and getting.
Well, I'm like a fucking kid, man. When I buy a card, I want it in here as fast as possible. So I want to get somebody their card, and nothing's better than somebody reaching out and saying, "Hey, thank you very much. I got my cards ridiculously fast." I'm
laughing because I think the first real interaction that we had, I think you guys sent my package to Laser Street or something like that. Yeah. I had actually forgotten about that. I had actually forgotten about that.
Damn, he didn't even try to be nice to you. He just put your ass on blast.
I told you in the garage. The word that your street is, I'm not going to say it because it's your street, but the word that it is isn't a real word. Like, not like, so it auto-corrected when I was typing it, and I didn't even notice.
That's when you're
fear not, folks. Their shipping since has been flawless. I've heard no complaints, but yeah, no, I forgot that was actually the first interaction that I think we really had.
And what did we get? I refunded your shipping.
Oh, yeah, no. You guys know that I got my cards, all that. Oh, no, everything.
And I bought the fucking Jalen Hurts, bro. I bought the Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
She has to deal with 4 kids and me, man. Give her a break.
That's funny. I totally forgot.
No, I will never forget that. It was
funny.
so.
Funny.
And I'm like, of all the people too, it's the admin that I messed up the shipping.
It's funny.
So what we like to do at the end of these things for anybody that hung out and
Hey, I got something for you. I see cages on there. Look, I was looking for I'm covering the name. I was looking for cards for my daughter because she wanted to give Garbage Pail Kids cards to her friend. And I found an Ian. So I'm going to send that to Ian because I thought it was cool.
Yeah, so we like to give stuff away. So however you want to do this, we've got a slab. I think tonight we'll do the Jude Bellingham.
Closer.
Fucking light.
You gotta go closer.
If you want to pick somebody in the chat, however you want to do that. I will say that, whatever you want to do, but we'll send that out tonight or tomorrow.
The last one we did, Derek just picked a number, he wrote it down, and it was like 1 through 20, and whoever said it first got it.
But you can do your own thing.
I was not prepared for this. I'm probably just gonna default to what you just said because I'm not prepared.
All right,
Yeah.
so you got to write down the number because the internet will kill you. You'll be on card
Okay.
porn, and we'll all be pieces of garbage. And between Courtney sending cards to the wrong house and her toe thumbs on card porn, I can't handle anymore.
So
Where are my sticky notes? There they are.
okay, so Tony, yes, we do discreetly package your cards.
Yes,
Very discreet.
you don't have a going problem. You have a growing problem.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
I've wrote down a number. How are we gonna do this?
Is it what's the 1 through 20? Is it under 20?
That's what you said. Yeah, it's under
Okay.
20.
So the first person in the feed that you see on your end that says the number wins the slab. So everyone start a number 1 through 20. Whoever gets the number first. So we got a 10 on our end.
That's our end. Let Mr. Beeman do his thing, Courtney.
Sorry.
Don't distract him. Who is getting the slab? Inevitably, somebody will guess 10 again as well.
Mhm.
Do. I would just mash the shit out of these. Chow always guessed 69, Cage. My guy Chow always goes 69 and he always.
Oh man, I wish I bet the over on number of guesses.
I know, right?
Right? There's only 20 numbers, guys.
I know we've gotten like over 10 of them out for sure.
7.8.
Is that like the
I
game
promise you it has not. I promise you it has not been said yet.
There's one number I haven't seen that I'm assuming it is.
It's in my Discord tag.
Pie making an appearance.
Wow.
Good God, this is
It is
painful.
my lucky number, but is considered unlucky to many.
420.
These are your kind of people, Court.
Oh my God. Are we gonna do every number besides the number?
This is the worst giveaway ever. Oh boy.
What's an unlucky number, folks? There we go. Whiskey Will just got it. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
13.
13. We'll just slide this into the package we already have for you.
There we
I
go.
got open stacks everywhere here. Yeah, man. We appreciate you jumping on. I know there's a lot of people in your Whiskey Will being one that's just kind of like he wants to take the plunge, wants to get in there, and I think this has been pretty informative. I know Tony Harley's another person that's talked about doing a fire sale, and so I encourage everybody to go and watch a couple, participate, and there's tremendous value in just watching and get your feet wet, man. It's a good community as long as you come in prepared and have a good attitude. People.
Yeah, no. And I know you guys mentioned you can just join from the Sports Card Investor website too. If you go there and go to community, there's a Discord link there, so you don't even need an invite to join. And again, not promoting anything. Like you literally just go to the website, click community, and go to the Discord. You join it, like no strings attached. It's a free Discord. You get to interact with people like us. Yeah, thanks guys for doing this. This was fun. I don't know, I haven't done anything like this yet, so I had a lot of fun interacting and getting to chat with you guys face to face. So
For sure.
thank you.
It was nice to interact with somebody who's professional, unlike old Merlot over here.
I will say, like, you guys didn't know I could have been like a 13-year-old kid with like braces.
No, I didn't know. I knew you were older because you told me a long time ago. Probably.
Okay.
I think when I messed up your mail, you're like, I'm growing up. Because I added you.
Is
I
that
went to
what I
add you as a friend, and you messaged me. You're like, yeah, I don't add people on Discord. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I remember that too now. Yeah.
We go way back.
Well, my reasoning was like, because I actually use it for gaming, which is not a very adult thing. But anyways, yeah, there you go. But
I don't care. I collect.
okay. Yeah,
I
I do both. So anyway, it was great to chat with you guys. Thanks for having me. This was fun. And yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys.
Thanks everyone.
Guys. Thanks for joining us. See you next Wednesday.